Hi folks, this is CNB. I'm Siddharth Nayak Patnankar. Welcome to a brand new episode. We come to you this week from a special part of the world in northern Africa, Morocco to be more specific. The sand dunes, the Atlantic Ocean, quite a spectacular setting. The reason is right next to me. Something you've been expecting on the program, isn't it? The 4th generation Range Rover. All the details, the complete test is coming up on the program today. It was launched with much fanfare a few months ago in London, was the toast of the Paris Motor Show a few days later, and is now ready to rumble, as it were. The 4th generation of the iconic Range Rover SUV is even more capable, even more aspirational, and yes, more high-end than the outgoing model. The car has looks that scream Range Rover from a mile, and yet there is a certain modern youthfulness to the styling that hints at baby brother Evoque. Now you'd think that the design brief was fairly simple because when you have an iconic product like the Range Rover, the design team would be told, hey, don't mess too much with it because it has to be immediately recognizable as one. But therein lies the problem, because you've also got to blend in a lot of modern, contemporary sort of styling elements into that very typical Range Rover design. And what you finally get is something like this. It does have a lot of appeal to it because you've got the typical Land Rover grille up front, you've got the clamshell bonnet, and of course the Range Rover badging up here as well. Instant recognition. But then you've also got some other elements. It's a much, let's say, narrower, slightly more streamlined looking grille as compared to the outgoing version, and that makes the bumper a little bit wider and heavier. However, it's been broken up with some of these elements, and so as a result it doesn't tend to look heavy up front. It looks very agile up front, and the headlamp, especially the fact that it's been a little bit streamlined, has a new LED pattern thrown into it, which is again modern and very contemporary, and the overall package then starts to look younger and a little bit more attractive, and yet instantly tells you that it's a Range Rover when you see one coming down the road. At the rear too, you get the all-new tail lights, LED of course, but yet they give you a sense of the older car's vertical stack. The new panoramic glass roof is quite sexy, and yes, the vehicle has the option of a black or silver roof and this styling accent along the side. The big change though is the all-aluminium monocoque construction on this car.
It's the first SUV to employ this. And besides making it 39% lighter overall, it also provides better stiffness and rigidity, bringing a new character into the SUV space. I set off to explore the Range by first driving along the Atlantic coast. The packed and wet sand made for a tricky surface, but skimming through the surf had its own charm. Next, it was time to move inland, and I finally felt like I was indeed in northern Africa. The sand dunes stretched for miles, and it was amazing just how close to the ocean we still were. There was no need for reducing tire pressure. All I had to do was switch the terrain response system to the sand setting. The Range Rover glided through the dry sand effortlessly, and if I did find myself inundated, I had to simply reverse and try again. No need for any recovery vehicles pulling me out, thank you very much.
If you've been used to the previous generation car, then you're going to find huge differences almost instantly once you get into this one because, well, for sure, things do change on a new generation, but the one big USP that instantly comes across is the all-new aluminum construction that's been used for the first time on an SUV, in fact. And it gives it such a different character. There's a lot more stiffness to the chassis, and of course it's not just the fact that it's a new material. The engineers have worked on specific technologies which also help improve overall ride and handling.
And that includes the new updated terrain response. Unlike the earlier Range Rover or even the other models, while you do get the knob that lets you control which setting you're in, the new system also has an auto mode, where the vehicle senses the surface that you're on and adapts accordingly. Now that's pretty neat, isn't it? After the sand, it was time to get onto some rough gravel and then go rock climbing.
I'm in a little bit of a state of disbelief. You know, when they first told me that this is going to be a breeze, I looked at this rocky, really difficult looking slope and I thought, it's not going to be that easy. Well, they said just put it in, put the drive terrain in auto and just keep going. It did just that, just kept going.
That was indeed fun. A little nerve-wracking at first, but really fun overall. The beauty of it all is not just the effortless nature with which the car moves on, it's also the elegance and comfort it throws in, never once losing its composure, which I found staggeringly good. And soon it was time for me to head towards Marrakesh. And yes, this time we opted for a nice, smooth express highway. The dynamic stability control, another new feature, is quite a marvel. And it, along with the continuously variable dampers, means that there is no body roll or any lurches coming through.
Quite a change of pace because we are out of the countryside and onto the motorway now, heading towards Marrakesh. And a very different character of the vehicle instantly comes through. It's got a nice cruiser sort of a feel to it. It's very smooth, and the other thing which has changed is the fact that they've cut down the NVH level, so it's a quieter cabin than before, and especially at high speeds is when that becomes even more apparent.
So it was a smooth run at very high speeds of close to 200 kilometers per hour that brought us to Marrakesh. Marrakesh is Morocco's third largest city, and it's known for its crowded bazaars and its Medina. Quite fascinating, really. So we've had surf, sand, rock, gravel and some dirt roads too. The rough mountain roads just before that motorway section had even brought us through this stream crossing. And boy, did I have some fun there or what.
So I got to create quite a little splash back there, and if you think we are done, well, we are far from it, because that's not even anywhere close to the wading capability that this vehicle has. So we've got to show you that. We've also got to run you through the interiors, and there is that other engine which we haven't still showed you, the V6. All of that is coming up after a very short break. Stay with CNB.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.